Let me know if you can hear me okay, because my microphone's in a weird location. Hey, Nathan. It's weird to be like, hey, I'm going live, and then all of a sudden, bam, there's people. It just freaks me out. It's funny because it says there are 0 people watching, but I'm pretty sure there's, oh, now there's 3 people there. Okie dokie then. Hey, Lenny. Hello, Sylvia. And Stevie. Jeez. Here I'm thinking I got a minute to get myself together, and it's just like, surprise! There's a lot of people here. I am in a 12? Really? Holy goodness. It's telling me there's only 3, but I can see a lot more than that in the chat. So, yeah. Weird. Hi, Stephanie. Not too bad. We had a fairly uneventful trip to the grocery store today, which, having a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, is saying something. Totally fantastic. Hi, Julie. Thank you so much for the care package of stuff the other day. It was really, really sweet. Awesome, Stevie. I saw that on, I think, your Facebook wall, and you might have posted it in the group. I can't remember if you posted it in mine or somebody else's, but I did see that earlier. I am working on bits and pieces for orders. Hi, Tanya. Turn this a little bit. Yes, this shirt is my life. All day, every day. So I'm still drinking coffee. The M&Ms are actually almost gone. I had to hide the box because if my kids knew that they were there, I wouldn't have gotten any. Oh, I wish I could go shopping without mine, but my husband's still gone for another week-ish, and I'm not gonna pay a babysitter to watch my kids so I can go to the grocery store, because living on a military post, you're looking at about $10 per head per hour. So like $40 for somebody to watch my kids so I could go to the grocery store? No, not gonna happen. A few of the grocery stores near us have just recently gotten a grocery delivery thing, or where you can order it ahead online and then just go pick it up at the store. Like, they'll bring the stuff out to the car for you, which is pretty cool, but I don't know. It sounds cool, but interacting with the cashier at the grocery store is some of the only in-person interaction with other adults that I have when my husband's not here, so I don't know. I'm a pretty big shut-in as it is, and he always picks on me and tells me I'm a hermit. Dog hanging out at the end of the hallway. I don't know why she's sitting way down there. She could come in here, but that's where she is right now. Who knows? So what is everybody up to today? And what time is it where you are? I know that some of you are in the UK, and I know that some of you are middle of the country, and some of you are East Coast, so I'd kind of like to shoot for about somewhere between 11 and 1 for when I do stream. That way more people will be able to be here, because I know that my accidental 4 o'clock stream on my birthday was not accessible for everybody, but that was a day where I had planned to get on here at about 1 o'clock, and then, you know, 3 and 5-year-old mom life happens. Crocheting a pillow. I have no idea what you are knitting. None. Because you could be knitting anything, so I don't know. Oh, a baby blanket. Baby blankets are so cute. I don't want any more babies, but I very much enjoy making baby things because they're so quick. Ooh, a baby cardigan. They're so cute and tiny, like just so small. So I got an order the other day. I got an order first for the cowl and then for the gloves that I showed in I think my last video. And then that same day I got an order for 3 octopi. I'm working on putting the second one together right now, and then I have to make the third. On top of that, on that same day, I then ended up getting an order for a Zero Lovey, and I just got another order for a Zero Lovey last night. So I was like, oh my, I got this, I guess. Thanks, universe. I'm not complaining, but geez. I really like making them. I was kind of intimidated by the idea of amigurumis at first, but these little things are pretty stinking cute. There we go, that side, there we go. A cat? You mean like a stuffed cat? I made one forever ago for Killian, and most of the time when I try to get him to pay attention to it and play with it, he wants nothing to do with it, but the second I talk about putting it up on the shelf in their room, all of a sudden he needs to have it or he might die. So I don't know. If it gets really dim, all of a sudden the sky just got hyper dark and it looks like it's gonna rain. So cool. And Hunter is playing Minecraft right now. Killian was up very early this morning at about 6 o'clock, which has become early for him, which is really, really nice. Hi, Dana. And he's just so beat from existing this morning that he passed out in the car on the way home, so I just let him sit in the car while I unloaded the car to see if he'd stay asleep, and he did, so he's zonked out in his room right now. Poor little guy. A kitty cat keychain would be cute. I really like some of the micro amigurumis that are super, super small, but I don't think I'd have the patience for the ones that are really, really tiny, the things that come out about yay big. Yeah, no. I have enough trouble with these as it is. I almost have the pattern memorized for this though, so I don't really have to look at it anymore. This is actually the first time that Killian has taken a nap in about 3 weeks, Linny, so I'm honestly really surprised. But he's got a lot going on developmentally right now, so I know that his sleep patterns are off, his eating comes and goes, so I just kind of roll with whatever he's feeling for the day, whether he needs to sleep or not. I mean, right now I'm getting the bottom part attached. I keep moving it to the wrong side because I've got the screen split with the text up so that when this actually goes up on my channel later, when it's not live, people will be able to see what you guys are saying, so it's not just me looking crazy talking to myself. Hunter is singing. I don't know what he's singing about, but he's singing something. Awful as in they eat too much, or awful as in they're way too picky? Because mine go back and forth. Oh, blind. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better, I guess. Yeah, I've kind of lucked into it with... Very much so, Cindy. I've kind of looked into the last few of the octopi that I've made. Which way? There we go. With the colors swirling the way that they do. Man, that is bright. Ugh. Super, super bright. Way too bright. There we go. A little bit better. Not right in my face like it was. Maybe if I sit back here, it's better. I hate that about mine, Lenny. They do that all the time. One day they'll eat so much food that I'm like, man, how am I going to afford to feed you guys when you get bigger? And then the next day, anything I make them, even if it's food that 2 days ago they were in love with, they won't touch anything. It is horrible. It is so annoying. It's like, I love you guys. I really wish you'd just be consistent in your eating. But I know that eventually they'll be like their father and they'll have the metabolism of a horse on uppers. I was going to say the name, but then I'm like, oh wait, that would be like instant demonetization. I think my husband has to eat something like 3,500 calories a day to maintain his weight, which is ridiculous. Meanwhile, I can eat about 1,100 and feel like a cow. A very full cow at that. Yeah, sleep isn't really something that I try to concern myself with too much, Julie, honestly. Because if I get too stressed about the fact that I'm not sleeping like a normal human should, then I sleep even less. And my sleep is of poor quality compared to the trash heap that it usually is anyway. Yeah, I say that sleep is for the weak pretty often, but then I'll have a week, the way this past week has been going, where I'm only getting about 4 hours a night, and I'm like, I could do with just a couple more hours. About 6 hours of sleep is my happy place, honestly. Hi, Brenda. Yeah, I think that, like I said, my boys, if they get their dad's metabolism, they're gonna get to be teenagers, and I'm gonna have to go grocery shopping for 10 people. Because they're gonna have to eat so much food. So much food. Not really looking forward to that. So I'm hoping to broaden their flavor palettes a little bit before then. So that I don't just have to cook the same chicken thighs and rice every single day anymore. 19 people watching. 19? Really? So many people. It almost feels like presenting in front of a class in high school. Although most of our classes were closer to 25 plus kids when I was in high school. Did I get this stitched on all the way around yet? Almost. So what is everybody working on? I've seen a few people mentioned it when there were less of you here. Got everything from a mystery knitted item. "4 hours. Oh, of sleep? Yeah. Yeah. On a good night, Belinda, I usually get about 5 solid hours of sleep. Because if I try to sleep for longer than that, then I wake up every half hour, 45 minutes, and sleep even worse. So, yeah. So I'm not wearing makeup today. Didn't feel like bothering with it. And I look like I'm glowing because I have the bright light therapy lamp on over yonder, shining light on my face so that it doesn't look like I'm sitting in a cave, because here in Washington the sky has gone dark. Aw, I'm sorry it wasn't working out, Dana. I know how that is. I've had a couple projects where I just wanted the end result so bad, and then you looked at it and said, you know what? No. Not worth my energy. Not worth hating it every step of the way because it just isn't working. Ooh, that sounds cool, Mary Beth. And I'm actually sitting facing the window, so if I stare off into nothingness peering outside, it's because there's stuff out in the world, guys. There's trees and birds and sometimes deer. Usually the deer you can see better out the kitchen window than here, though. It depends on what part of the base he's going to be working at, honestly, Julie, because this base is huge. This is actually a joint base. It is an Army, Air Force, and I think Coast Guard base all thrown together, so it is huge. And there are a few towns right outside of here that aren't the best places to live. I don't think I would want to live there, and I've lived in some places that were kind of shady and dicey before I met my husband, because, you know, when you have a single income, you get what you can get. Hi, Anna. The on-post housing is really nice. We're actually on kind of a separate part of it. We're not on main post. And over here, it's more rural seeming, even though, you know, you've still got all of the cookie cutter houses row by row, but they're spaced apart a little bit better, and there's a lot more trees over here on North Fort, so. And it also depends on how long the waiting list is to get into housing, because when we got here, the waiting list for housing, I want to say, they told us initially that the wait list was at least 90 days. And, you know, like, you're gonna live in a hotel room with a dog, a cat, and 2 kids for 3 months? Don't think so. But we got lucky, and we'd only been here about a week, and they said, hey, it's not your first choice for the community you wanted to live in, but it's open. Do you want to go check it out? And we were like, yes, please. So we got here and checked it out, and me being me, I had to ask if it opened up suddenly because somebody had died here. And they're like, no, not that I know of. Yeah, the waiting list. So I would say get on the waiting list. The thing that sucks is that you don't get on the waiting list until you're physically in this state. So even if you sign up for it ahead of time, they don't actually put you on the wait list until you're where you're going to be. Which sucks, in my opinion. But we lived off post the last place we were, and the first place we were at was scary and horrifying, but the second place wasn't so bad. So yay, 2 done now. Only 1 more for this order. I don't know if you'll be able to see the color on this guy better if I kind of block the extra light, maybe. It's like pastel oranges and yellow. Now the other one I gotta do is black, white, and gray. And this one is just creepy. stuff everywhere. Crafter's block, that's no fun. I kind of have the opposite problem. I have crafter diarrhea of the brain. It just kind of overflows even when you don't want it to. Oh, let's see if I can find the end of this yarn. Do you have a center pull? If you don't, you will now. Oh, it's supposed to go the other side. I hate it when a skein of yarn doesn't have a center pull that's obvious when you get it from the store. I dislike it very strongly. I hate pulling from the outside of the ball. I just don't enjoy it. Oh, I found an end. Did I find an end? Yes. How horribly tangled is it here? Let's find out. What? What is it? I can't tell.
It's a type of...
It is a box of some sort. It looks like, yep, box or a block. I'm not quite sure which.
It's a block.
I had it. Where did it go? There it is. Alright, so now I get to start the third one. And I'm not going to be streaming for probably more than an hour because I'm going to have to get Killian up from his nap or he will sleep all day and then he will be up all night. And you know what? We're going on 4 weeks now with my husband not being here, and once it gets to be about 8:30, it's mommy time. It is not mommy dealing with kids time anymore, and I just need a break after dealing with them for 14 to 16 hours with zero breathing space. Hi Angelia, I am starting the third octopus I got for an order that I just got the other day. These are the first two. So weird trying to turn them so you guys can actually see. So I've got these two, and she wants one that is black, white, and gray. And yes, yarn barf, lots of it. But this yarn is Big Twist Sincerely, it's acrylic, where the heck, and it just says black, white, gray. Alright. Hi dog, I see a dog butt. What are you doing? What? Hello, I see you. I see you. Can they see you? Kinda. Here's your face. Where's your dog face? Dog nose. Oh, there's an eyeball. Oh, there's a face. Hi, sweetie. My mother actually taught me how to crochet, Belinda. Yay, reconnected. I don't know why it disconnected. Yeah, that's Renegade. She is a mutt from Afghanistan that my husband actually rescued from when he was deployed over there before we met. She is a very good guard dog who barks way too loud and scares the crap out of me because things exist. So woof. Hey Holly. What is up, other military mama who knows my pain? New York. I miss New York so much. I never thought I would say that, but I miss New York. Oh, I know all about that. I keep saying to my husband, when are you going to be home? Somebody needs to come take these kids. Because I need a breather. I love my children dearly, but oh Lord, some days. And it's ridiculous because you'll have one really, really awesome day with the kids and you're like, yeah, this is great. And then the next day is garbage and you're like, oh, why? Why? Car troubles, oh, that's no fun. That is some of the worst kind of trouble to have. I was surprised after we went to get groceries today, I stopped to fill the van up because I usually only have to put gas in the car maybe twice a month. And the price of gas on post is actually pretty high for here. It's almost $3 a gallon on post, and usually it's in like the $2.40-ish a gallon range. Pretty crazy. Expensive trouble. Oh no. That's even worse. There are some parts of it that I don't mind, Brenda. Primarily that I've only got 2 other people to pick up after. I love my husband, but he is a messy person, and I am not a messy person. It drives me bananas. But the nice part about it is that I have gotten at least Hunter to be as neurotic about things being as clean as I am. So if Adam comes home and doesn't take off his boots, Hunter will give him hell for it. Because we're in a rental, so you know, we've got that ridiculous beige carpet and white walls everywhere. It's just, ugh, no fun. Still dealing with the yarn barf, man. Absolutely, Brenda. It was one of those things where I had to kind of cover my mouth and have an aside chuckle. Because you don't want to encourage him to be a jerk about it, you know, but hey, we have horrible carpets that pick up every speck of dirt if you look at it wrong. Don't walk through here with your boots. Oh yeah, pretty much. Daddy, you forgot to take off your boots. You know Mommy doesn't like it when you do that. Oh, kid. Thank you, Alva. 1, 2, 1. Keep hearing weird noises. It's strange to have the house be so quiet during the day. Because Killian doesn't usually nap anymore, but he's asleep right now. For anybody just hopping on, since wow, it says that there are 23 people now instead of 19. Oh, yeah, Adam does that occasionally. He'll take off his boots and leave them in the narrow walkway between our couch and the counter. And if Hunter trips over them, oh man. Oh, the scolding that comes from my now 5-year-old to my husband because he tripped over his boots is hilarious. It's like, why do you do that? The worst part is with ours is we have like a little breakfast nook area in our kitchen, so there's that overhang from the counter, and that's where we usually leave our shoes, is pushed under the counter. So why can't you just shove your boots over to the side so it's under the counter? Oh yeah, they do. And then the worst thing about the boots is the little boot blouse strap hook thingies that they wrap around them. Can't tell you how many times I've had to steal those away from Killian before he decided chewing on one would be a good idea. No fun. What row am I even on right now? I know my stitch count is right, I just don't know what row I'm on. There we go. One more. crease. Yeah, those boot blouse straps are killer. They've got that little thing on the end that's like a fish hook, and ugh. Yeah, I told Adam that when he gets home, if he's up to going on camera, we totally need to do that too. We do not have snow anymore, Angelia. There are a few piles here and there that are persistent because they got stacked up high enough, but it went from cold enough to snow a few days ago to now it's almost 50 degrees. I guess I'm a really good multitasker, Julie. I don't know. 1, 2, 2, yes. But this is the only way that I can really get crochet work done during the day, is, you know, have to be able to adapt and multitask. And oh, the kids need something, oh, the dog's barking, oh, the cat needs me, the doorbell's ringing, the phone is ringing. Too much blood in my caffeine system. This is another thing that contributes to multitasking, is way too much coffee. Because I think... Yeah, I made another pot of coffee today. I actually finished off the first half. Leftover half from yesterday. I'm one of those people, if I accidentally brew too much coffee, I just put the rest of it in the fridge and have the rest the next morning and then make a fresh pot. I am working on another octopus, Holly. I got this one that I just finished sewing up a minute ago. Got this one, and this third one that I'm working on is all for one order that I got the other day. Kinda crazy. Yeah, the weather here is ridiculous. It doesn't usually get cold enough to snow here for as long as it did though, so I'm really honestly surprised that we had snow for more than a day. It was really unlike here, at least from the last few years we've been here. Usually doesn't get much below 40, not for long anyway. Oh, I can believe it, Cindy. We got to visit my in-laws in Maine 2 or 3 times, one of which was during the winter, and it's a lot like where I'm from in New York. They get that super, super heavy, thick lake effect snow. I wouldn't mind having a little bit of snow. I kind of liked the snow that we got here the other day, because it was just falling, and it was light and pretty and sparkly. And then we only had maybe 3-4 inches of snow. But you know, the schools were shut down, businesses were closed, because they just don't have plows here. Which, being as far north as this part of Washington is, I think it's kind of ridiculous. I wouldn't mind a little bit of snow, but the one thing that I did like more about New York than here is that even if it was snowing, the sun would still be out. So, you know, you look outside and think, oh, the sun is shining, it must be warm out. Then you walk outside and it's negative 20 degrees. Yeah. As opposed to here, where it will be temperate, usually somewhere between 40 and 70, except in the high point of summer. And the sun doesn't come out here much. Snow in Northern California. You guys usually get snow there, Brenda? Oh, tornadoes, yeah. In the part of New York I'm from, we had something that they call a microburst, which, from my understanding of it, is just kind of like a mini tornado. It comes down, knocks things around, and goes back up and disappears. But we actually had one that hit our wedding setup the night before Adam's and my wedding. And it knocked over one of the tents. I was like, yeah, I don't know if that's a good omen or not. I felt like going live today because, like I said, I've got so much stuff that I'm working on for orders. I just wanted to get something put out because I didn't do a video yesterday because I was buried under making what I've already made. And I actually sent 2 of the orders out today in the mail. So I knew I wasn't going to have time to record and edit and upload and still get things done. So here we are. I'm talking and working at the same time, and this way I don't have to re-upload anything because it just automatically funnels up to the internet when I'm done recording. Hi, Angela. What am I doing? 5. So for anybody who hasn't had dinner yet today, what are you all making or eating for dinner this evening? That is approaching, and for the East Coast it is about dinner time now. Hi, Sean.
There's a cat.
What's up, sweetie?
There's a cat.
I think he's asleep in your room. I think he's up on your bed, but Killian's asleep, so don't worry about it. Yeah, our cat Nurgle has really taken to Killian lately. To the extent that he pretty much lives on his bed whenever they're not in there asleep. I usually kick him out when it's bedtime because if I don't, they will never go to sleep because kitties are exciting and wonderful and need hugs and loving and stuff. Popcorn isn't dinner, Julie. Popcorn is a snack. Salmon. Oh, I miss having salmon. Got some salmon in the freezer. And Adam actually wants to go fishing this next salmon season. Maybe catch some. Told him he's more than welcome to. But he needs to know that at least Hunter's going to want to tag along with him. Have a good night, Cindy. Hope you enjoy your dinner. I like breakfast for dinner. There is nothing wrong with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, Angelia. Oh, that would be so good, Holly. Yeah, we have frozen salmon, but it's not quite the same as fresh. It's just not. My boys would eat scrambled eggs, bacon, and toast for every meal if I let them, which, all things considered, really isn't horrible, I guess, but I need a little bit more variety sometimes. Oh no, it's cold there. 1, 2, 3. I've really been here for 40 minutes already? Wow. No wonder some of you people who live stream end up having like a 4-hour stream. It makes sense. I have never gone fishing specifically for any one type of fish. but I grew up on a lake, so I have been fishing before. And honestly, I don't really like it. I could be on a boat with people who are fishing all day and be fine, but if you put a fishing pole in my hands, I would get so aggravated that I would be ready to jump off the boat and swim to shore. I just don't have the patience for fishing. I more have the mentality of Ernie from a really, really old Sesame Street skit. Come on and get in the boat, fish, fish. Here, fishy, fishy. And if they didn't jump in the boat, I wouldn't want to do it. It's just not fun for me. I love being on the water, but I wouldn't want to fish. How chilly is chilly, Linny? Like cold enough to snow or just unpleasantly cold? I used to catch things that you wouldn't really want to eat when I was little, like teeny tiny perch and sunfish. Never really bothered for fishing for things like bass and trout. Yeah, that's pretty chilly. That's pretty cold, Linny. And I grew up close enough to Canada that in my head I'm pretty good at Celsius to Fahrenheit translations. Pretty good at it. I like to be near the water, Angelia. I don't like fishing. My husband loves it, and I'm like, okay, cool. You have fun with that. I have my pattern over here if you're wondering why I keep sketchy eyeing in that direction. I'm okay with being around snakes and stuff too, as long as they're not of the venomous variety. And growing up in New York, there aren't venomous snakes there. The closest to venomous that you'll get is a milk snake. Bye, Julie. Have a good night. Thank you again for all this stuff. It's going to take me forever to get through it all. Except the chocolate. That'll be gone in like 2 days. I am from the Thousand Islands region, Alva. I actually grew up in Redwood. Actually, outside of the town of Redwood. We were kind of in between Redwood, Theresa, Redwood address, Theresa phone number. Ooh, rattlesnakes. Yeah, we didn't have any water moccasins back home. They sound scary, though. The closest thing to scary snakes that we had back home, which I didn't think they were scary because I knew that they weren't venomous or aggressive, were, we always called them black racers. I can't remember the actual technical name for them, but it's essentially a gigantic garter snake, but it's black, and they're really, really long, like 6-7+ feet long and about yay big around. But that's part of the reason that I liked living somewhere where the air hurts my face. Because you don't have to worry about checking your shoes for scorpions and having to worry about spiders that can bite you and rot your flesh. Yeah. I do get kind of paranoid about all the spiders here. Have a good night, Angelia. Thank you. Apparently they do have brown recluses here, which the very idea of getting bitten by a spider who, as I said, venom can actually dissolve your flesh. Yeah, no thanks. Not a fan. And because it rains here so much, all of the spiders like to hang out underneath all of the eaves on the house. I went to spray off the back of the house last summer with the hose, and it was like a scene from Arachnophobia. Just all of a sudden, all of these things started dangling and dropping down from under the eaves. No! No, thank you. Kids, get in the house. Ugh. We don't really have any problems with bugs in the houses here, but the quantity of spiders anywhere, like if we go for a walk in the woods here, just webs everywhere. Hi, Sonia. Oh my goodness. So see, this was productive. I'm about halfway done with the second octopus that I needed to finish. Well, I can't light the house on fire, Holly. It's a rental. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be covered. So that's not cool. I wish. Oh, that was... Oh, so many spiders. Not cool at all. We're back down to 19 people watching. 19 seems to be my happy place, where I don't freak out about the quantity of people watching me. There are some bigger YouTubers that I watch that are horror narrators, and they have somewhere in the realm of 200 to 600,000 subscribers, and they'll have like 1,000 people in a live stream, and I'm like, holy crap, how can you even remotely keep up with what's being said in the chat? Yeesh. Peppermint oil does help inside, and actually sage will also scare away spiders. It's not just for getting rid of the boogeyman anymore. Sage will help you cleanse your house of arachnids as well. Oh, Spider's Island? Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good time, Sonia. Oh my goodness. I don't have the eyes over here, do I? No, I don't. Right? That sage does double duty. You just can't go wrong. Be gone, bad spirits. And also little 8-legged crawly things that I don't want in my house. Yes. And I do keep clove oil around for toothaches too. Hi, Katrina. Welcome. I'm going to be here for probably about 10 more minutes, because then, like I said, I got to go wake up Killian, or it's going to be a long night. And since he got up so early this morning, I don't want him to be up all night. That makes me think of, there's a meme that has a picture of just somebody's hand, and they have what looks like a knuckle duster, but it's covered in quartz crystals. And it says, for when an MFer needs their chakras realigned. Like, man, I need one of those. That's an interesting thing about clove oil that I never knew. Oh, man. Yeah, I got the light on. Now the sun's gonna come out here. Let's turn that off. Oh. I'm still glowing. Whatever. Yeah, right? You can actually buy them, but it's crazy expensive. Yeah, I heard that it's pretty cold over there, Katrina. Lenny and Sean were saying that it's super, super chilly. And like I said, we had snow here a few days ago, and now it's upper 40s, low 50s, I'd say. The wind makes it feel colder, but we're also right next to a lake, so that's not really a good indicator of the actual temperature here. Yeah, driving in snow is never fun. Although, when I used to live in New York and I would be driving home from my job, working at the mall at like 10 o'clock at night during the winter time, you know, and you've got your lights on and it's dark and you're driving through snow, you kind of feel like you're on Star Trek going warp speed. Oh, -5. Ugh. Get a big heavy blanket, Sean. That's what I do. I'll sit down here at my computer and have a blanket draped over me, sometimes over my head like a hood. Have a hat on, have my fingerless gloves on, and still be sitting here crocheting. Yeah, growing up near a military base, Brenda, one of the fun things about the snow is all of the people who had grown up somewhere like Texas and never driven in snow in their entire life, and then came up to northern New York, where we not only got snow, but feet and feet of lake effect snow just dumping all in one go. Hi, Valencia! That was always fun. So you've got, you know, all of the locals who, like me, even with a little car that doesn't have four-wheel drive, you could make it through the snow at a decent clip. And then they would either be driving way, way, way too fast in a four-wheel drive truck and flip the thing into the ditch, or be driving so slow that they were causing accidents because the locals were trying to get around them. And it was just, poof, no good. Yeah, that's a 4-letter word. That's definitely a 4-letter word, Valencia. We're not going to say it again. It has passed the season here for me where we should be getting that, so I'm done with it. What do you consider to be decent snow, Linny? Because decent snow for me is like maybe half a foot. That'd be nice. You know, it looks nice, but it's not really hard to shovel. "10 years since you really saw that much snow?" Wow. I just grew up with that much snow, so it's really weird to me to be somewhere where it doesn't hardly snow at all. We got a little more snow in Maryland than we do here. $80. Oh, gross, Holly. I hate when it does that here. Yeah, usually about mid-April here, it'll go from being 50 to all of a sudden it'll be like 70 degrees. Really? Really? Washington doing this to me? I am working on an octopus. I have 3 of them for one order that I got the other day, which if I can, there we go. I don't think you'll be able to see it because the sun is trying to gouge my eyeballs out of my skull. But got these 2. Oh my lord, seriously? I feel like a vampire here. But I'm making this 3rd one so that I can get this in the mail tomorrow. And it's just gonna sit there now. Hang on a second, guys. Now watch, I'm gonna put the curtain down a little bit. Oh, maybe. Oh, I threatened to put the curtain down. Ah, there we go. Yay! Now it's not right in my eyeballs anymore. Holy goodness. I can't really see anything right now. I'm blind from the sun shining right in my eyeballs, scalding my retinas. Yeah, I was surprised. I got one order at about 1 o'clock in the morning, then I got that one, and then another one in that same day, and then yesterday I got another one. Alright, universe, I can handle the workload, so I'm not going to complain about it, because yay money! But, geez, space it out a little bit more, would ya? Killian is actually napping, Valencia. We went to the grocery store this morning, and after him getting up earlier than usual today, his poor tired little butt passed right out on the way home, so I just put him in his bed. I've actually got to get him up in a few minutes, too. And Hunter is playing Minecraft. So he is enjoying a little quiet introvert time. Whenever we go somewhere where we have to deal with people, I found that that's kind of a funny thing about living in a house full of introverts. We'll all get home and kind of go to separate portions of the house for everybody to decompress and recharge. I guess so, Valencia, but I mean, where was this money before Christmas time when I could have had better use for it, you know? It's weird how orders will come in spurts because I haven't increased the amount that I put towards ads or anything. Thank you, Mary Beth. Have a good night. So it's strange to me when I'll just get hammered with orders out of nowhere. I was actually just thinking of dropping down what I'm paying to promote my listings on Etsy, and then it's like, oh, hey, surprise. You know what? You're right, Holly. I didn't even think of that. Not working retail anymore, I forget about those things, because I used to know those like the back of my hand. Like, alright, everybody, not only is it tax refunds right now, but living near a base, okay, everybody got paid because it's the 15th, so we need extra people on today. Call somebody in, we're gonna need more cashiers. I both miss that and don't miss it at the same time. I hold my yarn, let me see if I can get it here. This is the way that I hold my yarn in my non-dominant hand. That's how I keep my tension. And this is how I hold my hook. Which I guess a lot of people say that that's a really weird way to hold your yarn. It's just, that's what's comfortable for me, I guess. Of course, now that I put the curtain down, the sun completely went away. There's just no winning here. None. Yeah. Yeah. I honestly don't like going to the commissary here for produce because, I mean, I got some raspberries that are on manager special. I looked at them and I was like, well, these are going to be growing fuzz in about 2 days. So those raspberries that were half price are going to be my snack this evening instead of eating sugary junk that I don't need to eat after the kids go to bed. I knit too, Valencia, but I continental knit, so I actually hold things about the same. Holding my yarn this way to crochet is really awkward for me because when I'm doing crochet, I actually hold on to it with my finger here. I've tried doing traditional knitting where you actually throw the yarn, and I'm like, that just seems like a lot of extra motion that I don't need, and knitting is already slow enough for me, so no thanks. Yeah, our commissary has junk for produce. It's usually pretty dicey, unless it's something like apples or bananas that are so green that it's going to take them 3 or 4 days. I usually don't bother getting it from there. We'll go to Safeway over in Lakewood. Sometimes Walmart. So I'm not a weirdo in the way that I hold my yarn. Good. I'm a weirdo in just about everything else, so I guess it's kind of cool to be with the cool kids for once. Sometimes I'll work on English style knitting just because always trying to improve those skills, you know. Even if it's not something I need right now, you never know. My back is not happy today. Oh. It was nice to get Killian out of the car, though, to be able to pick him up, just hold him with one arm, and have him just put his little head down on my shoulder and pass right back out when I unbuckled him from his car seat. That was nice. You should, Lenny. If it's different from the way you've seen most people do it, you should. You never know, it might make a difference for somebody who's having trouble. They could say, oh, I can do it that way. That makes sense to me. Hi, Rochelle. Yeah, we're not far from the range here, so whenever they're doing artillery, I'm like, oh yay, the house is shaking. The dog is going nuts like there's a thunderstorm. The kids can sleep through it though, so that's really what matters. Yeah, we got a little bit of fresh air today, and we actually had a trip to the grocery store that didn't involve Killian screaming the entire time, which was a nice change. Very pleased with that. I would like more outings where Killian doesn't just shriek his head off the entire time because he's upset. Very emotional, my 3-year-old. Very, very emotional. You're welcome, Rochelle. I feel like people who learn to crochet first. If you're not also taught knitting at a younger age, it's a lot easier to pick up continental knitting. Oh, super fun. Yeah, we're on Lewis McCord here in Washington. Yay. And I can say that with confidence because I'm on a military base, and if you really have the wherewithal to come at me through security checks at a gate on a military base, whatever. Yeah, it's no fun. And once Killian gets wound up enough to be losing his mind, he doesn't calm down. It takes him forever to de-escalate once he's gotten up there. It's just, ugh. There are some things about army life that eventually, when my husband decides to get out, I will miss. But I think the thing that I dislike the most is the gypsy constant moving thing. I'm not a fan of that. I grew up in a very small area and I don't like moving. I don't like it at all. I have too much stuff. I grew up with the mentality of once I moved out of my parents' house, I was going to have an apartment or two and then get a house and settle there, live there, have my children there, and probably die in that same house eventually, someday, many, many years down the road. Because that particular area of New York is not a very financially well-off area. And I'm sorry for the crinkling. I'm trying to get stuffing out of this giant box over here. We have only moved, well, we've technically moved 3 times, Ollie, but we've only lived in 2 different places because our first move in Maryland, we lived in a place that was so bad that you could hear gunshots. And we lived off post, so it wasn't like someone was at the range practicing. No, this was gangbangers shooting each other across the street from where we lived when I was pregnant and then had Hunter in Maryland. So that was fun. So after our lease was up there for the first year, we moved to a much better community in Maryland a few towns over. So we've moved 3 times. Yeah. And not just gunshots, but getting to see on the news, oh hey, somebody got shanked walking down the street on the other side of the road where I walk my dog and take walks with a stroller and my infant son. So that was no fun. Bye, Sonia. Thanks for stopping in. Ugh. 5 times. Yeah, you said you guys are going to be moving this year. No fun. It's probably my least favorite thing. And we had movers pack all of our stuff last time. I don't know if I'd want to do that again. I would much rather pack all of our stuff so I know where everything is. I have a quasi-photographic memory, so it would have been a lot easier to find things when we first moved in because I would know where they all were. Were they big moves, Holly, like all over the country, or did you just have an unlucky apartment and you needed to move somewhere else that was nearby after the first year like we did? We were lucky and nothing was broken or missing. It just took me forever to find things because they were all over the place. I kind of like to think of it that way, Linny. But I don't know. once I have an object, I don't really want to let go of it at all, pretty much. Yeah, my husband's dad was in the military too, Valencia, so that's really all he's ever known. And me, I grew up in the same house my entire life, moved to a town 20 minutes away from my parents, ultimately ended up living in a house that was about a 10-minute drive away from my parents and my entire family. So it's totally different worlds in that regard. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to our next move, but it might be the last one. Only one or two more, and then maybe we'll get lucky and we will be at age for him to potentially retire from the military, and we can go settle probably in Maine, which we've talked about, and we would much rather be there than in New York, which would still be weekend drive distance away from all of my family and friends in New York, so it wouldn't be bad. Maine's economy is better, the politics are better, the taxes are so much better than New York. Thanks, New York City. Yeah, I'll bet. Lots and lots of offloading of stuff, Sean. If I won the lottery, I would pay off everybody's houses in my immediate family. Would actually be able to help my mom get a house, which would be nice. And I would want a big plot of land, like at least 10 acres, maybe more. Somewhere in the realm of like 100 would be nice, and just plant the house right in the middle. Have a super long driveway. That would be the best. Yeah, you have to play the lottery to win the lottery, and I don't. Yay, more yarn barf! My favorite! This ball is just a mess. No wonder it was in the clearance. Have a good night, Valencia. Thank you for dropping in. I think the only time I've ever played the lotto was when people gave me scratch-off cards in either a Christmas or a birthday card. Beyond that, not really worth it. Hello, sad-looking teenager walking outside my window, creeping on me. Yes, and we want to have a small farm. One with, you know, enough room for a decent garden to grow all our food, have a little bit of livestock, some chickens, maybe some bunnies. Maybe some sort of a creature that has hair that I could turn into yarn. Hi, Gigi. I really like gardening. I'm hoping that we got our last cold snap here so that Adam's going to be home in about a week. Then he'll be here for a few weeks, then he'll be gone again. So I think when he's back here, provided the weather stays constant, I want to get everything planted inside for our garden for the summer. The property taxes in New York, I'm not sure how the property taxes are in Maine, but I do remember from when I looked at them that they were less than New York. I like having a craft room. but I think I would more like to have a separate building, just like a small little crafting shed that's just approximately about the size of this room, with built-in wall storage for all of the yarn stuff. That would be nice. How did your convention go, Gigi? I saw that you got home in one piece. Which is always good. Yes, this is the mom cave right now. When we first moved here, Adam was like, oh, maybe we should put the boys in separate rooms. And I was like, no, I need space. You get to have the shed outside to do your woodworking stuff in. I need some space for my stuff. Otherwise, there's just going to be no room in our bedroom because all of this stuff needs somewhere to be. Good. I'm glad you sold lots of stuff. Because traveling that far and not selling lots of stuff would have kind of been a bummer. And then, if I had a separate building, I could do more cold processed soap stuff like I used to do. That would be nice too. But I kind of gave up on that because it's scary, first off, keeping Lai in the house. Even though it's in a box that's taped shut on a shelf in top of the closet in this room that is usually closed so the kids can't get in here. We have one of those, well, you can probably see it, the safety lock on the doorknob over yonder. Fun stuff. A tiny house would be really nice for a crafting space. And then you could go in there and have a momcation. Be like, nope, I'm just gonna stay out here all night. Leave me be. The Lie actually wasn't that bad to work with because I read so much about the proper way to use it and everything. I was always hyper paranoid of doing anything when the kids weren't asleep. And by the same token, trying to work with Lie when it is quite late at night and you are already sleep deprived is not exactly a good idea either. I only had it splash on me once though. And it was scary as hell, but luckily I was wearing gloves and had my safety goggles on. No fun. Around Afghan sounds like it would be pretty cool. I have one that I started working on for Killian that it's big enough for him now for just a snuggly blanket. I might make it bigger for him sometime. The only time that I wouldn't wear safety glasses when I was working with Lai was when I was already wearing my regular glasses. Because they kind of served as protection. Even though they're plastic, so honestly, if I had gotten Lie onto my glasses, they would have just melted onto my face, so not really that safe. Especially while if you're trying to dispose of a body, right, Brenda? I mean, no, I wouldn't know anything about that. Lye is a chemical agent that begins the saponification process of taking separate oils and stuff and turning them into soap, Sean. And it is very, 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 very bad for flesh. If you get hot lye water on your skin, it feels like somebody has poured acid on you. It is not pleasant. First rule of Fight Club, Lenny. Bad. Don't talk about Fight Club. The boys are good, Gigi. Killian is napping, and Hunter is playing Minecraft. Just kind of chilling. Yeah, when I was doing the cold process soap thing, Adam was making a lot of Fight Club jokes. I was like, man, don't go there. I'm trying to make things that smell nice. I haven't watched Fight Club in a long time. I haven't watched anything with anything more than a PG rating in what feels like forever. Take that back. On Valentine's Day, I went back through some of the older seasons of Supernatural, and what season is it? Is it season 5 or season 6? I don't recall. It was the season where Sam had just come back from hell and was soulless, and he was at the beginning of the episode working out and doing chin-ups with no shirt. And I was like, yay, happy Valentine's Day to me, because my husband's not here. So I ate ice cream and watched that episode of Supernatural after the kids went to bed. I think that was the last grown-up television I watched. Everything else is like Paw Patrol, Team Umizoomi. Tumbleleaf, whatever the Amazon Prime kid shows are. I don't know if there is much of an Amish community near here, Tanya. There were back home. There was actually a pretty big Amish community near where I grew up in New York. Used to love going by the roadside stands in the summer and getting pies. Oh, most amazing pie ever. As far as kid shows go, honestly, Paw Patrol is... it's not too bad. Oh, bubble guppies. Oh, I am not very much a fan of bubble guppies. Although I will say I would rather watch bubble guppies than little Einsteins if I had to choose between those two. Unfortunately, Killian is madly in love with little Einsteins. Have you seen anything from the new season of Paw Patrol yet, Linny? I never really tried bath bombs. I know a few people who've made them with success, but I never really got into it. I don't get to take a bath. It takes so long to run all that water and just, no. That's okay, Holly. The bedtime song that I sing for my kids before they go to sleep is an adapted version of the song that Daniel Tiger's parents sing to him when he goes to sleep. I'm one of those parents. But hey, it works, so whatever. I just put their name in it instead of Daniel, and it makes them happy because they feel like it's a special song just for them. I am almost done with the body on this one. Yay! Now you just have to make the tentacles, and this order is done. Yeah, I'd rather just not have to sing, honestly. I miss when the only things that Hunter enjoyed watching were things like Scooby-Doo. But now, speaking of kid shows, if anybody has kids that like creepy stuff, there's a show on Netflix that's called Bat Pat that my boys love. Can't go wrong with Queen or AC/DC. But I feel like I'm going to have to make a point of listening to quite a lot less Laurie Berkner Band in the car for the kids and have them listen to real music again. Because the other day I had my phone hooked up to the Bluetooth in the kitchen so that it was playing music on the big speaker that we have in there. Hunter was like, I don't want any more music with electric guitar. I was like, you are not my son. That is unacceptable in this house, young man. Bat Pat is really cute. It's kind of like Scooby-Doo, but the monsters are real, but they need help with something. So Bat Pat and this trio of siblings help out whatever the monster is in that episode. It's pretty cool. It's cute. I like it. As far as ridiculous kid shows go, you know, whatever. Yeah, it's cute when Hunter and Killian will sing things like Johnny Johnny back and forth to each other when we're at the table, but yay. Body. Body. I can't wait until my kids are old enough to go to concerts with me. I think that's the thing that I miss most since becoming a parent, is going to live music shows. But they have to be big enough that they will be able to partake in a mosh pit if they are so inclined. So I'm probably going to have to wait till they're like 12. Johnny, Johnny. Oh, man. That just means that you need to listen to more hardcore stuff where they scream so the kids can't completely understand what they're saying, Sean. That's all. Can't have it be something melodic where the lyrics are easily understood. I love that everyone has the same sympathetic pain about kid songs. Johnny Johnny is adapted from, I believe it was a nursery rhyme, which essentially it's just Johnny Johnny, yes papa, eating sugar, no papa, telling lies, no papa, open your mouth, ha ha ha, and the kids, you know, got sugar in their face. It's annoying, but whatever. He's not into Swedish black metal. Well, why not, Sean? I think the best accidental, unexpected sing-along that I've experienced with the kids so far was Motley Crue in the car. Oh, not the Finger Family song. No, not the Finger Family song. But it was Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue. And Hunter is very much a drum kid. So he was kicking the back of my seat and singing, shout, shout, along with the song, and it was cute. Yeah, Rammstein would be good. You need to listen to more Visual Kei and Japanese metal, Sean. That way they can't understand it at all, and you'll be golden. Oh, you're welcome. Yes, whenever Adam is home, everything. I'm convinced that my husband thinks that he was secretly Maui in another life. It's ridiculous. So full of himself. I love that man, but oh my, sometimes, ugh. Aww. I'm surprised that mine haven't. When we were out for a drive the other day, Bohemian Rhapsody came on and the boys were super, super enjoying what was going on. Oh, now that it's getting dark. Eek. Thanks for stopping by, Holly. Drive safe. I don't trust anybody in vehicles out in the world. I don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but driving in the States is horrifying. It's a good place to start, Sean. Oh, Dropkick Murphys. I haven't listened to them in forever. I haven't really listened to my more punkish stuff in a long time. Long, long time. Oh, man. See you later, Holly. Alright. I will give it 5 more minutes because then I've got to go get the little one up out of bed. It's still early enough that if I get him up now, he should go to sleep before 9. Fingers crossed. It was cool to get to hang out here with everybody. I don't mind going live. I know a lot of people get all twitchy and nervous, but I don't know, I've never really been nervous in front of groups of people, I guess. octopus head body thing. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, Sean. Dave Grohl probably makes pretty decent money, so that's a good thing to aspire to, in my opinion. Hunter likes to do the little metal voice sometimes. Out of nowhere, he'll just start going like, rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, what are you doing? Doing an angry music voice, Mommy. Oh, okay. Why? I don't know, I felt like it. Alright, kid. Whatever. That is because now that I have 1,000 subscribers, you can do super chats. Super chat is a donation thing for the video creator. I'm not sure what percentage of it I even get. I know that YouTube keeps part of it, but it's when you have a huge subscriber base and you have a ton of people, people can pay for you to notice their comment in the chat, and then bigger people will specifically respond to super chats before anything else. It's just a way to bring in more money. And I didn't actually put it there or do anything with it. It's just there. Once you hit 1,000 subscribers, YouTube does that. Yeah. Death Metal Twinkle Twinkle, that sounds so cute. I've actually seen a few videos of kids doing like the ABCs with a metal voice, and it's adorable, so cute. Oh, and I had a few people ask me before how I get the legs like this to be on my octopi that I make. How I get them attached. I just do a magic ring and do 8 single crochets, and then for each of the tentacles I do the 14 chains off of it, then the 3 half double crochets in each stitch all the way back down, slip stitch into the next one, chain 14 more, and do it that way. That way it's just all in one piece, just so it on to the bottom instead of having 8 separate dangly squiggly bits to attach. Yeah, that at 5 a.m. probably wouldn't be quite so cute. I mean, the first time or two maybe, but if it was an all the time thing, probably not. Thank you. It is a free pattern. I think I've linked it in quite a few videos before. But when I show these in my next Yarn Talk video, I'll definitely have the link to it then again as well. So where the heck was I? 1, 2, 3, 4. So yes, that one. Good thing you kids are getting home now. It is getting ready to start dumping rain here. Oh, it is raining now. Yeah, I like attaching mine in one piece. I saw somebody complaining about having trouble with it, and I know that's not the way it was in the original pattern. I think she's posted an updated pattern. Oh, Old MacDonald. You're welcome, Brenda. I remember that a few people had asked me before, but I don't think that I ever got an opportunity to show anybody because I hadn't made one on camera, and it's not my pattern, so I couldn't really completely show the whole thing anyway. This is a 3.5 millimeter hook. So yes, teeny tiny amigurumi hook. And now that I've gotten so used to working with this hook, I've noticed that my tension is getting looser when I stitch my amigurumi, so I might have to actually go down to a 3.25 just to not have airspace in between the stitches. No DNA in the finished product. Bye, Clark. Have a good night. Night, morning, whatever time it is where you are. This is a 3.5 millimeter hook. So when it starts off, I don't know if you'll be able to, yeah, with the weird light there. But when it starts off, they'll be all funky, floppy, twisted weird. But with the way it curls, if you just grab the end and kind of scrunch it this way, then it stays all perfect ringlets looking. Yeah, I'm using 3.5 millimeter with worsted weight yarn. I know that DK weight yarn is more easy to come by in the UK. Getting DK here isn't really easy. I think that's why everybody went so nuts for mandala yarn, because it's a 3 weight instead of a 4, which we have for just about everything. I think the smallest hook I've ever used was a 3. But I've never used it with worsted weight yarn. And you do get used to it after a while. The first couple of times I made an amigurumi with a 3.5 hook, I was wondering how I was going to do it, and now it's so easy. Don't even have any aches at all when you're done. It's great. So quiet. I don't want to go get Killian up, you guys. Try that one again. Here we go. Procrastination? Procrastination from what, Brenda? What are you putting off that you should be doing right now? Oh, you mean getting the kid up? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm significantly later than I meant to go get him up. I've broken a plastic hook on accident before. My first crochet hooks, once I started crocheting again as an adult, were wooden, were bamboo. That didn't end very well. I didn't like how much it caught the yarn, and then my cat found one and chewed on it, so the edges were all jagged, and that was just no good. But yeah, just to show you before you straighten it out, this is kind of how the leg turns out. See how it's all over over the place. And you just go and straighten it out. And then you get that. And it's all curly and nice. Alright, so I think I am going to go get my youngest up, as much as I don't really want to. When I'm crocheting, I usually listen to various people on YouTube. Honestly, there are a lot of yarn bloggers who I don't really watch, but I like their voice, so I listen to them while I'm working. That way, if I have something where I need to look at it, I don't have to rewind it or pause it or feel like I'm missing things. But look, I got this guy done. Now I just have to finish up the legs and sew it on, and I might actually get my other order done tonight. Yeah. But sometimes I'll listen to audiobooks. Sometimes I'll watch a movie. But usually, well, when my husband's home, I usually sit on the couch next to him and we watch TV. And we actually crochet together. Yes, my husband does crochet. He will try and tell you that he doesn't, but he does. He is a blanket making machine. Usually he picks a stitch that, just like most people do when they're watching TV, it's kind of mindless, you know, something where you don't have to super pay attention to it, but it's relaxing. And we have enough blankets now that if the power were to go out, we would be warm enough that it wouldn't be a problem. I started with bamboo knitting needles and I did not like them. I switched to metal and it's so much faster, and I'm a pretty slow knitter as it is, so I can't imagine trying to work with bamboo needles. It would take a million years. So on that note, it has been almost 2 hours and I meant to go for about 1. So I'm going to go get my Killian up out of bed and deal with his hibernating bear grumpiness that hopefully won't be too much. He's been asleep for almost 2 hours, so he got a pretty decent nap in. Hopefully he'll be in a good mood. Fingers crossed, because nobody likes dealing with grumpy kids, right? You too, Brenda. Have a good night. Thank you, Rochelle and Linny. Yeah, it's got to get done. If I put it off any longer, he's going to be up until like 10, and I'm going to be like, why are you awake? Oh, because I was dumb and didn't get you up early enough. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody who dropped in for the live stream, and I will catch you all in another video, hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow will be the last day for daily vlogs, and then it'll be a yarn talk day after that, and then I'll get to have a break for a few days. No more daily vlogs for a couple months. Yes! So I will catch you guys all next time, and eventually this will be finished uploading so people can rewatch it. So again, thanks everybody. See you later. If I can find where the thing to stop it is. Oh, there it is. Bye, guys.